This Morgan video was not approved, authorized, or endorsed by Disney.
There's a puzzling object which is flying through our solar system right now. It's only the third object ever identified to enter our solar system from another galaxy. It was discovered on July 1st of this year, but there is still so much we really don't know about it. Joining me now is Loeb, a theoretical physicist and also a Harvard University science professor of science. Avi, thank you for being here with us, and I want you to tell us and also put it in perspective here. First, where is 3I Atlas from, and also where is it now? And how rare of an object is this to be in our solar system?
Thanks for having me. The object is only the third that we spotted coming from outside the solar system over the past decade, because we didn't have survey telescopes that are capable of finding such objects. But it's the third one and the most unusual one in sense of its size. It's the size of a big city like Boston, and a million times more massive than the first interstellar object. And we don't know where it came from. We just know its speed when it entered the solar system, which was about 60 kilometers per second. And we don't know how long the journey was, but it came closest to the sun on October 29th. And then now we can see it from Earth. It was on the opposite side of the sun. We couldn't see it during the month of October. And it will get closest to Earth on December 19th, about a week before the holidays. And the fundamental question is it a natural object, a rock covered with pockets of ice that get evaporated by sunlight, or maybe a technological object sent by another civilization?
So, NASA released those new pictures. We just had them up momentarily ago. They just released them this week. But they didn't really address a lot of the puzzling questions that you have brought up in the past. What would you like to hear from NASA and why?
Right, so there are some surprises about this object. It came along the plane of the planets around the sun, as if it is on a reconnaissance mission. And that's why it's so easy to observe it from months. NASA should be grateful if this is just an icy rock. We were extremely fortunate. The chance of that happening is 1 in 500 for it to lie in that plane. And moreover, it also has jets coming from it in all directions, not just in the direction of the sun. We don't know exactly how they are produced. We want to understand that in the coming weeks. Mm-hmm. And it shed also nickel with very little iron, and that's quite unusual. The only place we find it is in industrial production of nickel alloys. And it also has a glow that is ahead of it, and that was visible in the high-rise image from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter that was released by NASA. And it's just not clear, why is there a glow preceding it in the direction of motion, not in the direction of the sun? And so there are lots of mysteries, and that's what makes science fun, because we can figure out the answers by collecting more evidence.
More evidence, that's for sure. And those are some of the anomalies that you wrote about in the past. I mean, from the jets, from the tail, too. You were saying it's not really normal for an actual comet to do that. I also want to go back to the pictures, though, because it has gained the attention of so many amateur astronomers who have used their own cameras to capture high-quality images. NASA, though, releasing these pictures, you got to be honest, you look at it, it's pretty blurry. Is this acceptable? Were you expecting such blurry images to be made and released by NASA?
Yeah, the cameras that NASA used for those images are not optimized to observe this particular object. The best image was obtained by the Hubble Space Telescope, and we expect to get better images in December. There are bigger telescopes on the ground, and actually amateur astronomers in recent days got much better, with equipment that cost thousands of dollars. They got much better data or images than NASA obtained with $1 billion equipment. So I think we should expect in the coming weeks to learn much more about this object, and stay tuned. Hopefully it will not send any unwanted gifts for the holidays.
Yeah, and you mentioned, too, it could be, you're theorizing, it could just be a comet or it could be something else. What is that something else that you have referenced?
The something else is an object that was designed to target the inner solar system, and could be a mothership that releases probes to the planets. So we should check out if there are any objects coming out of it in the direction of Earth or Mars. We have orbiters around Mars that can monitor for any new objects that appear there. And we can check for any radio transmission or any excess heat that is coming from an engine or any maneuver that the object makes. All of these are technological signatures, and we have enough instruments looking at it that we can figure it out if it turns out to have any of these technological signatures. And we should always remember the story about the city of Troy that accepted without any hesitation a Trojan horse that looked completely innocent. So my point is, when you have a visitor to your backyard, you better get as much data on it as possible, because it might show up at your front door.
I mean, you know, it's a little taboo in a sense. I'm sure some people are watching this smiling in a way or grinning. It's a little taboo to even consider that, but it is interesting that you bring it up, saying it could be a comet or it could be something else, because as you said, you want to know who's in your backyard, right? Do you think, though, that NASA is willing to look at it from that perspective, or just write it off and say this is a comet?
Well, you know, it doesn't really matter what NASA thinks or does, because there are hundreds of telescopes around the globe that will be looking at it. And we are not in the days of Galileo Galilei, when the Vatican or the church could tell the public, don't listen to one guy that says that the Earth is not at the center of the universe. Nowadays, it's impossible to block the flow of information. And my hope is we will figure it out one way or another. And science cannot be administered by bureaucrats. You see, the beauty of science is that evidence prevails.
Evidence prevails. All right, Avi Loeb, thank you so much. We understand it will be flying closest to Earth on December 19th. And of course, we're all going to be checking in on this, and hopefully we'll have you back on. So informative. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I want to go ahead and bring in Sherry here. And Sherry, did you know I am such a space nerd over here?
You warned me, and I love it.
And you know about it too. It's crazy. Science is so interesting, isn't it?
My husband's with Avi. He's
so interesting. Space is interesting, but hopefully, you know, it just stays far away.
Yeah, I mean, these are really smart people working on it too, and getting the pictures and analyzing the information. I mean, it's fascinating,
it really
but it's way above my pay grade.
Oh yeah, all of us over here.
It's like that's why we have the specialists on the news for us. Right now, live look outside. We've got some partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. It's 41 degrees. Temperatures are going to be a lot like they have been lately. So here on Earth, we've got temperatures today in the mid and upper 40s, maybe a couple 50s on there, really far south, but generally, it's not going to feel any different than it did yesterday or the day before or the day before. We've got dry weather today, but look what happens by tomorrow morning. We've got the chance for some rain in southeastern Mass, maybe a couple sprinkles getting up to the Mass Pike, but I don't think they're going to get past that. It is strictly tomorrow morning. By noon, showers are ending down on the Cape, and we clear out for the afternoon. So Saturday and Sunday, yeah, we've got a little early shower tomorrow, but in general, your weekend plans are safe and dry. We've got highs in the 40s, more of the same, kind of quiet weather. And we're going with the chance for some showers tomorrow south. North stays dry, but then we have to turn our attention to Tuesday and Wednesday, which is our next weather alert. You can see here with Futurecast, rain is set to move in during the second half of the day on Tuesday, probably closer to the afternoon or evening. Then we've got a couple of fronts in the area on Wednesday that will probably create a situation with some scattered showers. Not necessarily a washout, but scattered showers. We're favoring a dry out as we head into Thursday, but you have to keep in mind that we've got enough mild air in place that we're just going to be talking about plain old rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. But by the end of the week, we've got this deep cold that is going to be kind of rolling in our direction. And because of that, I would expect Black Friday, if not Black Friday, then the weekend after that, it's going to get really cold out there. 7-day forecast, weekend always in view. A few early morning showers tomorrow. Otherwise, kind of a quiet next several days. Alerts on Tuesday and Wednesday for some scattered rain with temperatures in the 50s. It's just going to be normal headaches that you would have with any kind of wet weather. But I'm sure a lot more folks on the road. Nicole?
All right, thank you. Well, the Police Accountability Commission is